Alright, this is my build that I finished eons ago, but I'm a lazy bum and I've got way too many irons in the fire, and I've got a few issues with our local gun club that make me unhappy, so I've been hesitant to go. So those are all just excuses for not test firing this gun, but the other day I just was fiddling with it and I discovered something which I should have discovered testing it before I painted it. Let me show you what I discovered. Alright, safety on, hammer's back. Now watch the hammer closely. Now, if you recall from my video where I fit the thumb safety in my first build, it should not allow any movement whatsoever of the sear, which should prevent any movement in the hammer if I were to pull the trigger right now. And I'll pull it. See that? Now you can guess what's going to happen when I take it off safe. The hammer dropped. So the reason is, and I don't know if you can tell, but the sear caught the hammer in the hammer's half-cock notch. So that's perfect. That's what should happen. The problem here is that I reused some parts from my first build, which of course if you watch that series you know that failed ultimately. I mean, I learned a lot and it was a good project. I enjoyed it, but in the end it didn't end up with a good gun. So I reused some parts. You know, there's a lot of things that you could reuse, like the trigger, the sights, hammer, sear, different odds and ends like that. So I don't remember if I reused this slide or not, or if this slide is from the first build. Anyway, I reused the thumb safety too, and the problem of course is that it doesn't fit this gun quite right. There's a little bit of wiggle room between the inside part of the thumb safety and the sear, which allows a tiny bit of movement of the sear when I pull the trigger. Now, so this should keep the sear immobile, which should keep the trigger, or the hammer, immobile, but it doesn't. There's a little bit of space in there. So that hammer moves a little bit. So the hammer now, the hammer hooks then are resting on the secondary angle of the sear. They've popped over the corner off of the primary angle and onto the secondary angle. So when the thumb safety gets moved out of the way, the sear is free to move, and the hammer falls like that. So I need to chuck this. I'll just throw this thumb safety in the garbage probably, and I'll take a new one, which I had bought anyway for the second build, and I'll fit it to this gun so that there is zero movement when the gun is in this configuration. If I pull the trigger, there needs to be, so when pressure is applied to the sear, it cannot move at all. So I'll fit the thumb safety so that's the case, and I'll fit it the same way I did in the first build series, so I won't bother filming that and boring you with it. I'll just make that change and I'll come back. Alright, so I haven't touched this thing in ages, but it probably didn't take me more than, I don't know, 40 minutes maybe to fit the new safety, the new thumb safety. I fit the inside part of it, and it was a little too long in front here to engage the notch in the slide here. So I put the whole thing back together, and then I couldn't get the safety on. So I had to do a partial disassembly and file that. So that'll engage now. This wouldn't go up into that notch before it stopped right there. So engages, has a pretty nice feel to it. So engaged, and I'm pulling the trigger quite hard, harder than I would ever pull it using the gun. Well, if I were using it for self-defense, who knows? In the intensity of the situation, you might pull pretty hard, if I'm being honest. But I'm pulling very hard. Alright, so if the thumb safety is not fit correctly, I'm pulling plenty hard to where we should know it by what we saw before. So now, take it off safe, no problem. So we know that that's keeping the sear nice and tight. Wonderful, wonderful trigger. Alright, so I think this is good to go. Now we just need to get to the range and test fire it.
What am I doing when I get home today?
Alright, I got 50 rounds here.
Start loading 9.
And I'm going to put through this thing today.
Time change, and I don't want to be fucked up for tomorrow. But I'm just going to start doing 9 mil and order the parts today for the 45.
Do you have another block?
Yeah, I got 4 blocks.
Yeah, so all your 9 mil.
Alright,
Yeah.
start out with
Because now I know how to set
1 round.
the guys on there.
See what happens here.
Yeah. I think your 9mm guys will also do your 380 guys.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about just pulling the trigger and getting the ammo feeder. Just getting it.
Whatever it is, your money?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, here, I'll show you something.
Lock back, that's good. Brass is like 3 feet away from me, so that's good. Let's put in 2, see what happens. I don't know where I hit. These glasses are dirty. I don't even know if I hit the paper. Alright, I'm aiming right at the target. I should have brought a screwdriver for that side. Good, we didn't double. It's another one of my first things you gotta hope for. Alright. That one's on paper, but probably need to raise this up a little bit. Alright, good shooting so far. Yeah, let's do 2 more. Alright, I think I see where I'm hitting there. Alright, it was in the black ring, so I couldn't see the holes. So I'm a little low. Actually, maybe I do have a screwdriver here. Let's raise this up a little bit and see if I'll start hitting better. That's about 1 turn.
At 100 yards. That's what you want. They're killing the prairie rats.
Yeah.
Alright.
I gotta, once I get my press going, I get started loading, I can pull the trigger on, getting all my bullets.
Okay, this
once
one
I know,
looks like the nose of the bullet hit the bottom of the barrel.
By the 5,000, 9mm45 bullets.
Yeah, the ARs, I built these ARs back in the 90s, late 90s, going to Montana, killing prairie rats, and I got a couple of different CP3 bolt guns.
Yeah.
Shit, and they shoot pretty good. I mean, what we used to do when we used to go out there was, first day I'd shoot just bolt rounds. Just get back in the thick of it. When you got the gas gun, you shoot too fast.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But the gas gun is good because if you make a miss, you see where you hit on the scope and just bring the scope right there and shoot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's real close to
so you can
bullseye there. And windage looks pretty
I had
good.
5 dogs standing on a 200 yards.
That's why
200 meters away one time.
That was a break on AR-10.
Yeah.
That's why it's so awesome, because a 900-yard shot, it take a second shot because it didn't move at all.
All right, it's hitting pretty good.
If I had to, I could just be like, boom, boom, I could shoot second shot.
Anyway, I had these 5 dogs sitting on the prairie dog mount, and I shot this one, he went down, and these 4 dogs looked over to see what the hell happened to him. So I shot this one, he fell down. These 3 turned over here, looked over to see what happened to him, and then I shot this one, and hit him, and the other 2 figured it out by then. It was awesome. Then I shot another one at about the same distance, and I thought, what? He's run, and then his legs were moving, but his body wasn't moving. And then I went out and looked at him later, and I shot him in the guts. His guts fell out, and got caught on the cactus. He ran till he couldn't. Battery ran out. It was pretty awesome. That's when you wish you had a video camera.
Oh man, I am bummed that I couldn't get it going yesterday. I got all that far, and then the 45 wouldn't feed in there. If you're gonna hit that, you're gonna blow your face off.
Ah, yeah. So I shot this morning.
It's hitting more or less where
That was pretty
should
nice.
be.
Not bad at all.
You shot this one before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was accurate for.
Yeah, I mean, I can barely see the front sight.
All right, so I put 50 rounds through it. These are the first few, and then I adjusted the rear sight. I unscrewed this screw 1 full turn to raise the rear sight, and that brought the point of aim up a little bit, and all the rest of these shots were after that. And then this target is the last 20 rounds, I think, maybe. And I'm not a great shot, but you know, it shoots pretty well. I'm sure if it were in a ransom rest or a better shot were shooting it, probably everything would be much tighter. Oh, this was at 9 yards, by the way. I guess that makes a difference, doesn't it? So I think the accuracy is probably fine, probably better than I can shoot it. As far as how the gun functioned, other than reliability, or other than accuracy, there was that 1 round, and the nose of the bullet looked like it was snagging on the bottom of the feed ramp. So basically, the breech face would hit the back of the round, and at that point the slide would move just a tiny little bit, and the cartridge hardly moved at all. So after several tries, that worked. And then let's see, the slide did not lock back once out of 50 rounds, and then there was 1 round that failed to go into battery by maybe, I don't know, maybe 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch, and so I just gave the back of the slide a whack, and then it went into battery. So those are the malfunctions. Not too bad, and pretty good shooting. If I used a beanbag or something, maybe I could probably even tighten that up. And I really like these sights. At least as far as my capabilities go, I imagine these sights would let me shoot my best. I like them quite well. So that's it. That's my second build, and I didn't really do anything with the thumb safety of the range because I think the testing that I just did here at home is probably adequate to demonstrate that works fine. There wouldn't be anything different at the range as far as that safety goes, and everything else seemed to work safely. So that's it. That's my second build. Sorry I took so long to post actually shooting it. There you have it.